fantasy, general fantasy is like some like Oriental, some like the Spaniard Mexicans, some like the Eastern Europe. And then you guys are talking the American.
What do you like?
Actually, because I like turning out Polish broads.
What?
He likes Polish women.
Live in Poland, dipshit.
Yeah. He lives in Poland.
Did you just say?
Do you call me a dipshit?
Oh, don't start on Duncan.
He's just called you a dipshit, Duncan.
Riley Martin.
He's taking the piss out of you, mate.
Riley Martin made the mistake of starting on Duncan.
Did I hear that correctly?
He called you a dipshit, big time.
Hello?
I just said a dipshit. I saved the big time for another day.
Fuck off.
Something tells me he'll never experience the big time.
I am not going away.
No, you don't have you don't have to go away because you're already in Poland. You've gone as far away as you can go. You're in Poland. You've lucked out twice. You're an American national and you're in fucking Poland. You are such a pile of shit, man. What can we do? Do you want us to send you some books or a present or something? Huh?
How about some shoes? Do you want some shoes?
Actually, only because I know who this person is, right? He actually could do with a clothes and food parcel because he moved house not so long ago and his car got broken into and all his clothes were stolen.
Ha! Good.
His trabant.
Is this guy in Poland?
He is in Poland, yes.
Why? What have you done?
We've been asking that question for like the last 3 or 4 years.
What have
And
you
I can't
done?
answer it. That's the thing.
You do know. I mean, America's got some shitholes, but nothing compared to Poland.
The reality is, I had
Couldn't you-
this conversation. America's not what it's cracked up. I mean, sure, people want to go there, but you know what? We've got problems too, and some people.
I don't want to go there.
Do you only want to go to Poland to bang the women in the
I've
hall?
never been to America, and I don't want to go there.
Do you know what? I
like
love
American women, but I think on the whole, most of them are gung-ho, trigger-happy wankers.
Somebody gave me the option to go
But
move to New
honestly,
York
guys,
tomorrow.
don't I deserve some mercy points for that? I mean, being in Poland.
No, you
Did we
don't.
start
You
off-
don't deserve anything at all.
You don't.
You've got everything you deserve.
I hope your plumbing doesn't work.
Nothing works here. Dude, it's
I
such
hope
a
you get
hole.
pubic
Why
lice.
do you think you've got 4 million Poles in England right now?
Because our plumbing needs fixing.
Now
That's
you
why
see-
yours doesn't work.
True.
Good, now, fuck off. What have we got here?
This is your anonymous confession.
Was that the same American that called up and said about the Special Olympics?
Yes.
Was it?
Yes.
Was it?
I think it was.
Right.
Twat.
So he's trying to redeem himself for being a cock.
Are we going to do this? Do you want to read it? Shall
No,
I
you
read
can
it?
read
If I need to read that, you need to hoik up the can you make that bigger?
The font.
Font.
The font.
Ramp.
That's another American.
Yeah. Well, you guys waffle. Let me sort that out then.
It's all right.
Yeah.
So this is we get spirit. Did we have one of these last week?
No. This is the third one we've had. We had the shagging a coma patient, and we had the wanking off an old guy.
This is the beauty of doing what we're doing this time on a Sunday night. Only then when you have the conversation about the shagging the coma person or wanking.
No, what was it said? You already know my views on sex with coma patients.
We should
And
just
put that into an advert as well.
Yeah, I mean, we should vaguely sort of explain in case anybody is at their PC for the first time listening to this or podcasting this for the first time. One of the things that we do is we say, okay, if there's anything that you've done that you're kind of ambiguous or ashamed but vaguely think it was brave or kind or something, and you want to confess to it anonymously but get it out there, then you can. And so a couple of weeks ago somebody said that they were working in a nursing home, and there was an elderly gentleman who could still get aroused, and so out of kindness as a nurse she relieved him, and that's cool. And then somebody else emailed and said that in a home where they worked, where sometimes patients were in short and long-term comas, they would also get aroused even though they're in a comatose state. So and that was embarrassing for relatives to come to visit their relative who was in a coma. So in order to lose the arousal, they used to do the same thing, but not necessarily with the hand. So that was that confession, and that was what we were talking about there.
Wrong.
Where are we going this week, Duncan?
Well, there's still the the medical connection.
Okay.
The following true confession comes from when I was covering on a maternity ward for 3 weeks. It was visiting time, and I noticed that a lady had had her curtains pulled around her bed for quite a while. Some people like to pull them around for some privacy and time alone with their new baby, but I knew her baby was in the nursery, her husband was with her, but they were totally silent, so I decided to check that everything was okay. As I pulled the curtain back, there was her husband standing up by her bed, and she was in bed laying on her side, performing a blowjob upon him. This is quite commonplace on the maternity ward, but I'd never walked in on it before, and I was as embarrassed as her husband as he popped himself back in, zipped himself up, and stood looking at me grinning. I apologised for disturbing them and pulled the curtain back as it was. As I walked up the ward towards the toilet, a tap on my shoulder had me turning around, and there stood her husband. He apologised again and said he was so frustrated, and seeing me standing looking up at him had turned him on even more, but his wife couldn't finish him off. With that, he pulled me into the toilet. We were so quick I could hardly catch my breath, but I'd never been so turned on in my entire life. He obviously sensed this, as he kissed me deeply whilst running a hand up my thigh, lifting up my uniform. He stopped as he realised I was wearing stockings, and I thought he was going to come there and then. He went down on his knees and began to pleasure me using his tongue. This was raw animal passion and one hungry man. He knew exactly what he was doing, and it was over very quickly. I rated as one of the best orgasms I have ever had. As I recovered, he sat on the edge of the bath, unzipped himself, and I finished off what his wife had started. I couldn't get enough of him, and it tipped him over the edge very quickly. We didn't speak afterwards. I think we were both stunned by the intensity of what had just happened. We washed ourselves, rearranged our clothing, and left the toilet. He walked back to his wife, and I went to the smoking room for a cigarette, as it was my break time. As he left that day, he winked at me, and I smiled. His wife and baby were discharged the following day, and they weren't local, so I didn't expect to see them again. And I haven't.
Oh, beautifully read for a start. It has to be said. The first time you've ever had to read out
No, I had to do Coma Boy 2 weeks ago.
quasi-erotic. Well, okay. First of all, who thinks that was real, and who thinks that was a piece
I
of?
think that was just ripped out of a porno mag for readers' wives, and it was a load of bollocks.
Okay. So we know what Matt thinks. Stuart,
Yeah, I got to say.
you think it was false?
Yeah,
Duncan.
I think it's cock.
Well, in that case, here's an idea. Just an idea, okay? If we were Americans... Well, we don't have ideas, do we? We're Americans. we just nick everybody
pay
else's
other people to-
shit. You know, like baseball, that's rounders, netball. But no, here's an idea. I like this idea. Let's see how this works, okay? All right? People's fantasies.
Mm-hmm.
That would work. Wouldn't that work? Wouldn't that work? Anonymously sent in 200 to 300 words. 300 to 500 words.
Oh, 300 to 500. Oh, you could argue that this may be someone's fantasy.
Oh, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking,
Yeah.
and that's good.
Yeah.
So you send in your your fantasy. I think that would work. Can't get obviously. You've got half an hour this evening to do that.
Sorry, this has been bugging me all night.
It has, hasn't
There
it?
we go.
Yeah, there we go. Ah, that's better.
Hang on, it's still not right for some reason.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
good.
because we're not using the ramp enough.
Have we got a jingle for it?
Skype.
Let's take a Skype call. Hello. Thank you for Skyping.
It's buggered. It's Chris.
Or not Skyping.
It's Chris buggered again.
Oh yeah, sure.
There he is.
Hey, it's not. I'm gonna turn it. Play this.
I think there's communication problems between
Okay.
here and hyperspace, obviously.
I'm in a nutshell.
Is it me, or is this the same guy that tries to Skype in every week and after 10 weeks still hasn't managed to sort it out?
That's Chris. Thanks, Chris. Good effort.
We should, yeah.
Play Radio UK. The sort of people we want to respond to this commercial will only be interested in one fact. So here it is. £60,000 a year. Cue the money music. You see, we only want greedy people to apply to be telesales agents for us. People that won't care about the fact that no experience is necessary and that you'll be selling the newest, hottest product in TV. No, greedy people are only interested in on-target earnings of